Welcome back everyone for another Evertale video. So today I wanted to kind of address a problem that Evertale has, and it kind of relates to power creep and tier list and essentially like a burnout, which essentially creates this cycle. And the reason why I wanted to make this video is because I was seeing that a bunch of people in the community, like on Reddit and other places, were really upset about the recent power creep with Dark Sun Wukong and Dark Cinderella. And I actually had somebody reach out to me to talk about it because they're thinking about quitting and they didn't know what to do. And they wanted to like get my opinion on the whole situation. They are saying it was very demotivating to play in servers like with and without whales. Like even if there were no whales, it was still very demotivating for them to play. And I think a bunch of this is because like in January and February, we're having so many back-to-back new characters like week after week. And a lot of time, like sometimes we only had like 1 week off before the next week we got a brand new character. And we had like Gilgamesh, Cleopatra, the ones I talked about before, Dark Sun Wukong and Dark Cinderella, like all really, really good characters. And it affects like a lot of teams. And I think this is actually the first week where we have like 2 consecutive weeks off from getting a new character. But we do have like a rerun right there with Bride Anya. But yeah, like, so that's why I'm making this video. And part of me thinks that I kind of have this theory that like every January and sometimes February is just power creep month for Evertale. Like last year, it was Lancelot, and she got a turn every single time she got a kill, which was absolutely insane. And she was like the best unit in the game for like a very long time. But 1 year later, she's still good. She's still a very solid unit, but nowhere near where she used to be like when she first released and compared to like all the other units being released after her. So the issue, I think, is partially due to tier list and power creep. Tier lists, they don't always really show the synergy with other characters. Like their brief look at the character is quick and dirty. They're really good for beginners and like who are thinking about soul stones and what's the most valuable character to use this limited resource on, because you don't want to waste soul stones. They're very valuable and it takes a lot of time to build up. But the thing is that tier lists are constantly changing, and power creep that's been going on recently is making them change very fast, like the tier list. So fast that it's very hard to keep up. And I just want to preference, like, I don't think tier list and like having like meta characters and are inherently bad. I think they're very useful, but I do think that they cause a big issue, which is FOMO, and which is the fear of missing out. It's like the FOMO of, I didn't know I wanted that character, but if this tier list says they're the best character in the game, like they're S tier, then I must be missing out. And if I don't have this character at max level, then I'll be at like a disadvantage compared to everyone else. And then I guess this kind of like FOMO and this kind of thought process that can happen with tier lists can like feed into this cycle of anxiety and an eventual burnout. And I'm not saying to stop using tier lists at all, just be aware that like it can cause FOMO. And like with the FOMO, like you have limited resources. One being soul stones, obviously, but the other being like limit breaks, like these green character potions, pots, character EXP stuff. Like there's a lot of resources that go into getting a character to max level, to 200, to getting their potential up, to boosting them, increasing their mastery, all these other things. Like it takes a lot of resources, not just soul stones anymore. And before, like the standard thing to do was like 1 level 200 that's fully awakened is always gonna be better than a bunch of level 100s. And that was kind of like more or less the universal rule, or like how to level up characters. But that might not be the case anymore, just because of how big the power creep is now. Like a single new level 100 fully awakened unit could be more valuable than an entire battalion of level 200 fully awakened older 1.0 units. Let's just say like Dark Sun Wukong, for example. Like I pulled for her. I showed you like a showcase of her, of how she can just completely dominate by herself, even against 200s that are fully awakened, especially the ones that are older units, like 1.0 units, like this Crisis unit, or Light Luds of 1.0 unit, Drooks of 1.0, Fire Dragons 1.0. Like there's a lot of 1.0 characters that just aren't worth it anymore, and even if you like get them level up, they're 200, they're pretty much useless. And that being said, like there's other units like say Light Anya or Thunder Anya. She used to be pretty good, but she's not quite 1.0. She's like a little bit after that, because barriers weren't really a thing before. I think she might be 2.0, might be a little bit past, but I guess my concept is she's kind of outdated. Like even though she's level 200 fully awakened, she's kind of outdated compared to a single like level 100 newer character. So I guess maxing out a character to 200, it takes a lot of time and effort and resources, and it kind of just sucks to see them completely obsolete and replaced by the time you hit 200. And by the time you get there, they might no longer be the best. They might not be the meta pick, and there might be a better version that does everything that you want them to do, but better for a better version. Let's say almost like Cinderella and Dark Cinderella, for example. Like Dark Cinderella, it's not quite exactly the same, because Cinderella has like a sleep mechanic going on, but it's not super huge to her kit. But Dark Cinderella does pretty much everything Cinderella can do, but better. And or like Dark Riz and versus like the new Dark Riz, like it's a complete power creep. And if you like finally get your original like Dark Riz or Cinderella to 200, and then a better version comes out, then it just sucks. It's demoralizing. It demotivates you, and it's not a fun time, especially since the resources, the time, the soul stones, it's just not a fun place to be. And so what I'm trying to say is like, it's okay to leave some of your units at level 100, and you don't need to get them all to 200 immediately. Like obviously 200 is better if you can, but I'd say really consider how much you really like the character, versus I want it to get to 200 because it's S tier on a tier list. Like, will I still like this character even if it gets power crept later on and it still has its usage, its utility, versus I'm gonna replace this character immediately the instant it drops a B tier? Like, do you really like the character, or are you only making them 200 and pulling for them just because they're high on a tier list? And I think like part of like what might help to like determine if you like a character or not is seeing other people play with them. Like if you want, you can join my streams, come ask questions. I do streams on new characters that come out, and we test them out together. We get some like really good ideas from like the people in chat of like different combinations and things that people want to see, and just watch and see what you like with the new units. You can look at old units as well and kind of decide for yourself and see the gameplay, the AI interactions. And the other thing is, you don't need to summon the very minute, day that a brand new banner drops. Like, you do have time. It usually lasts for a week or so for new units, And I typically wait for like the next day to summon and stream it, just because busy life, and like there's really no need to rush like for the characters. And it is also important to put limits on your summons, because at the end of the day, it really is just gambling. Like there's very little guarantee. Like the only guarantee is 500, which is way more than you should really ever be pulling, and it sucks if you hit 500. But know when to stop. You don't need a fully awaken day one. You can always skip and get your first copy on the rerun banner. Like Bride Anya, I'm actually, let's see, in about 3 hours, 2.5 hours, I'm actually doing a stream to summon for Bride Anya as a rerun banner for my sleep team, because I did not summon for her on the very first time that she came out. So it is completely fine for waiting for a rerun. Like, it's not gonna completely ruin your day, it's not gonna completely ruin your team. Like, it's totally fine to wait for reruns. And the one thing that I can guarantee you is like that number 1 S tier unit might be there for like maybe a year. Like, it might be stretching it, like if they're really insane and good, but guarantee that S tier unit will be replaced in 2 years. Like, if nothing else, on like all my accounts, if I did nothing for like 1 to 2 years, actually like 2 to 3 years, like the strongest account would probably be this one, actually, this Crisis team, because of the number of soul stones I have. Like, having a whole bunch of soul stones saved up for New Year characters, including like green pods, all this stuff, like, it's so valuable, and it helps. There's always going to be power creep, is what I'm trying to say. Like, no matter what you do, that S tier unit is not going to be S tier in 2 to 3 years. Like, I'd say Soulstone's most important resource. After that, like, I'd say guards typically age very well, especially if they're auto guards. Barriers, not as much. And then after that is your DPS support stuff. But yeah, I hoard soul stones like nobody's business, and I think having a reservoir of resources for New Year characters is really good to have. Like, all of my accounts, I think I have about like at least 300k. I think a bunch of them are at 500k, 600k. This one's at 946 apparently. But having that reserve is nice to have, just in case a new character comes out that you really want. And again, same with limit break pots, character EXP. I don't have nearly as much on all of my accounts, but this is one of the accounts that I do have a lot saved up. But yeah, I think like, at the end of the day, it is a game. I say have fun with it. Don't take it too seriously. Definitely don't spend a whole lot of money on this game. Like, I'm completely free to play. You most likely won't ever be like top 50, like, in here in terms of battalion, player rank, alliance, tower trial. Like there's a lot of people who are very strong, and what I'm saying is, it's totally fine to not be top 50 in any of these. Like, you don't need to be super high up in arena. You don't have to be champion arena. I don't even qualify. Champion arena is way out of my league, especially if you're in like EA 1 or 2, which is where all my accounts are, is in EA 1 and 2, because that's where it automatically transferred over. Oh look, it's true. Nice. Yeah, but yeah, you don't need to be top 50 to enjoy the game. Like, and the thing is, like, if you are number 1 in arena, like, that's great, but I'm kind of thinking like, at what cost does it take to be number one in arena or that high up in arena? And for a lot of the game itself in arena, it's not really skill based. It's all autoplay. Like if you play a game and challenge someone, all you do is press a button and then press skip, and you either win or lose. That's all it does. They took out a bunch of the strategy when they removed a live PvP from 1.0. God, I missed that. But yeah, a lot of it is luck, RNG, and who can dump the most resources into the latest unit. And another thing is, this isn't League of Legends or Pokemon or something with a huge prize pool or any big reward for being number one in arena. And in my opinion, if you are having fun, you're winning. Like that's the end of the game. Like that's it. Like it's a game. The point of it is to have fun. Like for me, I didn't summon for Cinderella for like the longest time, even though she was top tier, like she was S tier. And eventually I summoned one copy on my survival team, and she's still at 100. Like I didn't level her up at all. She's very, yeah. And the reason for that is I didn't really care how she felt. Like even though she was S tier on like all the rankings for like maybe a year or so, or maybe a little less than a year, she was very high up there for like the longest time. I didn't really care for how she felt compared to when Dark Cinderella came out. I tried her on my Overdrive team, and she felt a lot better than I expected her to be. Like partially because of when I was doing that, I was on stream, and I think we found a good place for her. Like talking to people in chat, we found something that worked. We found a bunch of, essentially, the Overdrive team with all the burn covered a whole bunch of her weaknesses for sleep and stun, and I really liked how she felt. So that's why I threw more resources into her, and I think I fully awakened her. I think I did. I at least leveled her up a little bit. Definitely not to 200, but I think I fully awakened her, because yeah, she just felt better to me. And even though it's not number one, I thought it was fun. Like yeah, that's pretty much it. Like if you're having fun, then that's all you really want, and that's all you really need from this game. And one of my fans actually DM'd me on Discord about like they were talking about being burnt out, and I talked to them for a bit, and now they're actually really excited about writing some fanfic for Evertale. Like there's a bunch of story, there's a bunch of events. I don't know about them too much personally. I haven't like kept up, but they did, and they have, and now they have like this new passion project, and then they're super excited about it. And if you guys, I don't know how far they're into it, but I might link it later on in the description if people are interested. But yeah, super fun project they're excited about. I think that's what you should be doing. Like if that's what you find enjoyable and what you want to do and is a cool project, do that. Yeah. And then another point I wanted to talk about was burnout. Like burnout is real. I have thought about quitting Evertale many times for various reasons before, and I think if you do need to take some time away from the game, that is totally fine. Like start with doing less. Sometimes less is more. Like for example, I haven't done a daily in like the longest time. Like sure, there's I'll grab that just because it's right there. But yeah, I haven't done dailies. I am not high activity at all. Like my lifetime, the last time I claimed something was like 260. I am 299 now. Like sometimes doing less is more, and like you no longer have to do things out of obligation. You choose, I want to do it when it's convenient for me, when it's more fun and enjoyable. And without spoiling anything, I might have a video that is in the progress right now that might take like maybe like 3 weeks or more, just to double check some facts before I say anything that like just to make sure I have my facts straight, and before I say anything out. And it might revolutionize how you play Evertale. It might revolutionize how I play Evertale actually as well. And if my facts are wrong, you'll never see the video. I'm not gonna post it. I'll be like, what video? Changing how you play? I don't know about this video. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of it. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, that may or may not be coming out. And as for the people who are wondering or thinking about like, I'm really burnt out, I don't know if I should quit or not. I'd say if it starts like once it starts becoming a chore and it's out of obligation, like I need to do this, and it just takes the fun out of the game itself, then I would say like it's no longer fun. Cut back, like I said. Sometimes less is more. Cut back on what you do. You don't have to do every single thing. You don't have to it's like even in the events, like I have not claimed these SSRs, which I really should have. And like even the current event, I slack off on a bunch of the times. And at most, sometimes I just go for the first clears for Soulstones. Sometimes I don't even get around to that. But just sometimes less is more. Like you gotta do what you gotta do to not get burnt out, and do what you want and do what makes you happy. Like make this game enjoyable for yourself. Don't make it a chore. Don't make it a second job that you need to do these things, or else you're gonna have FOMO and I'm gonna be missing out on these things. But yeah, once it's no longer fun, I'd say really consider it might be time to quit after like pulling back some time. Not saying like everyone should quit, but like it is okay to quit. Like it'd be sad to see you guys go and leave, but do what you guys got to do. Like take care of yourself. Like if it's ruining your days and like it's impeding on your actual real life and everything, take care of yourself and do what you got to do. And like this might be like a kind of like a sensitive topic, since you don't want to hear the YouTuber you're watching saying, yeah, totally quit, it's fine. Like it is okay, and it is totally fine. But yeah, just take care of yourselves. And I kind of wanted to end on a positive note, since like right now it's like it's kind of iffy, but I do think there is some good in this. And to that, let me just go, where is settings, encyclopedia? Yeah, where is she? Oh, here we go. So yeah, good note. I'd say find what you like, find what's fun for you, and if you like a playstyle and you really love character, but you wish something was tweaked a little bit more, there is still hope that it might be a reality one day. For me, I love doppelgangers. Doppelgangers, I can't talk. It was such a cool concept. Like, Reina was the very first character who had a doppelganger, and essentially you can make clones of yourself, which is like absolutely insane. And I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. Like I was just super excited for it. I fully awakened her on like my poison team and eventually my survival team, and like she worked great on the blood team because of her blood vampire and stuff. And like she was super fun. I thought like the instant you get a doppelganger off, it's just so satisfying, and it's so like, haha, the enemy is gonna hate this. It was great. Like I loved it so much, but my issue was it was kind of hard to pull off on Reina. especially outside of the blood team, because even though she does have summon entry, which you get some Mori in the back so that you can do blood vampire. Like, it has to be specifically her to get the kill off, and sometimes she'll almost one shot to hold ground, and then your next ally would kill it and she wouldn't get the kill, or like something else would happen, and like it was great and it was super satisfying when she could pull it off, but it was not consistent and she couldn't always get a kill off, which was sad because it was mainly blood survival. It was very, you just have to hope the enemy doesn't target you and you're not getting swept by the enemy, and once survival does unlock, she's probably gonna get targeted, and she's not the most tankiest unit, so sometimes you couldn't even get a single doppelganger off. And then after that, where is she? The next one, there she is. Oh wow, I actually found her. I can't pronounce her name. Guro? Yeah, I'm gonna butcher it. But yeah, she had a doppelganger, which essentially you had to more or less wait for one of your allies to get killed, and then you have a % chance she'll get a doppelganger. It's only 100%. Don't let this number fool you. Is if like they're like the last 4 in your entire team, in your entire battalion. So it was not very reliable. It's like a 25% chance, and you had to get your entire, like, you have to kill off a bunch of your allies, which in general isn't a very good strategy and something you really want to bank on. But yeah, she had that doppelganger. I was not as enthusiastic about her because of the whole your allies have to die and RNG on top of that, so not super reliable. And so yeah, for a long time I thought like it was just, that's it, those are the only 2 doppelgangers that we're gonna get. And then but then Loki was gonna come out, and I'm like, oh my god, Loki, he makes clones of himself, he's like mysterious and he makes illusion stuff, there might be a chance. But then she had hypnosis and stuff, so she wasn't, and I was like, oh damn. And then it happened, and then we had Dark Sun Wukong, and man, I was so excited for it. Like, it was amazing. Let me go find her. There's Sun Wukong. Where's Dark? Is that there? Dark. Yeah, Dark Sun Wukong. Doubling arts, man. It was great. It was so much fun. Like, a whole bunch of people were so pissed because it was so stupidly broken. Like, she can get doppelgangers immediately, very first turn, and it was insane. Like, I was so happy and I was laughing so hard because like she's everything I wanted, which was just being able to get doubling arts off easily and more. Like, she got turns. I don't even know why she gets turns, but she gets turns. I have like barely an explanation. Like, I don't even know why, but she's like better than I could have ever wanted, and it was great, and I just love it so much. It's just so fun for me. So I guess this whole tangent rant, yada yada, doppelgangers, is me saying, if there's something that you want and it doesn't exist yet, don't lose hope, because there is a chance that they might make it. Like, there is a chance that, like, let's say Lancelot, you love Lancelot, but you don't care for her endure and you want like an actual whole ground. That might actually happen in the future because of power creep. Because power creep does exist, there's a chance. So yeah, I guess like that's what I kind of want to get, like, end on positive note. There's still a chance, unless you are Crisis, because my Crisis team, I think this Mirai was the very last Crisis unit to release in like ages. So yeah, Crisis not in a good place. Crisis waiting for a comeback is the reason why I almost have 1 million But yeah, hopefully this video can help some of you guys out if you're feeling burnt out with a non-stop power creep, the grind, and hopefully this video ages well. But yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for now. Thanks for watching, everybody. Comment your thoughts down below, subscribe if you can, and come say hi in my next streams. In 2 hours I'm actually having a stream for the Bride Anya that I'm summoning for this one on my sleep account. But yeah, I will see you all in the next video, and take care, everyone. Bye.